What's up, everybody? It's Wednesday on Channel Rob Tui, and it's time for Round Robin. Hi, Robin.
Hi, Rob.
How is ya?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. People are like, we've been watching them talk to each other for 15 minutes. Why is he asking her how she? Well, because it's the show,
Right.
everybody. That's how the
Yeah.
format is.
Yeah.
And by the
We
way,
gotta
that's
we
the
gotta
end
start
of the
it.
format. There's nothing formatted after this
Yep.
point.
Yep.
The only thing planned is
Everything.
I ask her how she is, and then after that, it's all anything.
That's right. How are you doing?
Hey, how you? What's up? What up, bitches?
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing? So Drake in the chat about 8 minutes before the show started typed what the and then lots of symbols that indicate a
Yeah.
swear word, but then he didn't say what he was meaning.
Yeah.
So
What in the shit, man?
what the
What
shit?
in the shit? There's an in there. What in the shit? What in the
Yeah,
fuck?
and then
Oh,
is
maybe
Drake
it's the
even
F
still
word.
here? Did he? No, he's still
I don't
here.
know. That's my
Explain
dungeon
yourself, sir.
master. I can say that now because I am no longer a forever DM because Drake lets me play in his game for some reason.
For some reason.
Yeah, for some reason. I don't know. We'll find out someday.
Uh, I just left it up there to bother Rob. Oh, mission accomplished. Mission accomplished. Hey, Belle. That's the button. That icon is the button I use for our show.
That's like
It's
my favorite Twitch emote.
like
Hey
right here.
guys is what
Like
it is. It's hey guys.
this button right here. Like that. See?
Oh yeah, I see that.
Like that.
Adorable.
And I think
I
I
don't
almost
even
just.
know. So like a lot of the Twitch emotes are made of people who were either Justin TV streamers before Twitch was a thing, or some of them are the early Twitch streamers, like all the emotes. Mine is like ones that have been added in the last few years. Okay,
Yeah.
the vast majority of Twitch emotes are from things from like the Justin TV days and early Twitch days. I don't know who that girl is. Like, I can go through the Twitch emotes and I know who some of them are. Like, oh, I know this person because they were, hugely famous from Justin
Yeah.
TV in the early Twitch days. But yeah,
Her name is Hey Guys. That's her
hey
name.
guys. Yeah,
Hey
I don't know who
guys.
that is though. I wonder one of these days I'll look it up and then I'll be like, oh, I remember that person or whatever. Drake's making an encounter just for me. Just for me? Or just, oh, for me. Oh, God. I'm scared. Oh, boy.
Her name is Selen Akay.
Oh, yeah. I'm not familiar.
The Hey Guys emote used in Twitch to say hello or Hey Guys. Many people use it when they first arrive. The emote is the image of Selen Akay, who was a Twitch employee when it was created.
Oh, okay.
So
She was an
still,
employee. That's why I'm not familiar with
yeah.
her. She
Hey
wasn't a
guys.
streamer. Hey, guys. I love it, though.
Slurpy slurp Pepsi.
That and the panic basket emote are that's my second favorite one.
Panic basket. That's yesterday and today. The panic basket.
Yeah.
Do they have
It's a
dumpster
basket
fire?
on
Because that would
fire.
be awesome. They don't have
I mean
dumpster.
that's what you would use in place of a dumpster fire. Like if you're trying to say something, this is a
Yeah.
dumpster fire, most people would use the panic basket emote. Or Bible thump is another good sad one. I'm sad. Bible thump. Okay.
Sumo Wow.
Anyways.
Sumo Wow wants to know if we think Tasha's Cauldron of Everything is going to be good. I would say
Yes.
yes, because I think it's always good when the Wizards people give us more archetypes and more spells and more feats and
Well,
more stuff.
I'm
Because
gonna
even if some of them are
disagree with you.
bad, well, but even if some of them are bad, they're not usually all bad.
Right.
Yeah.
See, I mean, I understand why character or player facing content does so well, right? Everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people like new things and new campaigns start all the time. In fact, there was a study, not a study, that's not the right word. There was a poll a long time ago, not that long ago, a couple years ago. Most campaigns don't make it past like level 6. Like
Yeah.
most campaigns go like 1 through 6 and then for some reason or another either you finish the book or the group fell apart or the DM hates you all or something, the group falls apart or they're moving on to other content. So I can see for that reason why new archetypes, new player facing content is so popular, because new games are starting all the time. So you get to try a new character. Great.
Right.
However, I think Tasha's will be good, don't get me wrong, but I prefer, because I am a dungeon master, I prefer content, not necessarily adventure content, but I really like, back in the day they used to make these books. It would be they were like dungeon masters guides kind of, but they were just more rules or more magic items. I'm trying to think of the names of some of them. Um, like the Draconomicon, which had like more dragons, um, and the Guide to Dungeoneering or whatever. I forget what it was called. Books like that. I love those kinds of books. I hear some of that type of content will also be in Tasha's
Yeah,
Cauldron.
good.
So that's what I'm excited for. New stuff, new Dungeon Masters tools, that kind of stuff.
And we're going to go over that book, by the way, on the Sunday show on the 22nd. So we're
Yes.
and we'll give away a copy of it as well, as I always do.
Yes.
And it'll be awesome. And then I also like splat books, per se, if you want to call them that.
Yeah, splat books.
I like those because I get to add a bunch of new stuff to my coding packages and then raise the prices. That's what I like about it. But if you already have it, you don't get for that. You just get the update. You don't have to pay. So get it now.
I do like splat books. I do also like some really like hyper focus adventure books. And by hyper focus, I mean it's like a very niche kind of thing, like Rime of the Frost Maiden, right? It's an Arctic adventure. That's pretty much all it is. I mean, I know there's more to it, but it's like one biome. It's not this whole continent. I really like books like that. I think they're great. And it's probably because I like it is along the same reasons I didn't like Hoard of the Dragon Queen, for example, because that one is like all over the place, all over the Sword Coast. It's too much. I felt it was too. I really like hyper focused sort of adventure books.
Yeah, I thought one that it's still, people argue with me about this, but I thought one that was really well done. That's like what you're saying all over the place, was Princess of the Apocalypse, because
I haven't run that one.
It's a wide thing, and it's semi sandbox. Like you don't have to railroad, right? You can let them go, but then if they get somewhere where it's like, oh fuck, we're out, we just run away. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I really I think that's my favorite, because I've DM'd that 2.5 times.
Right.
And I think if I ran a campaign that people just said let's do D&D and they didn't have one specifically in mind, I would probably do that one again because I like it a lot. Mm-hmm. What is this?
I've never run it, but I really want to. So here's the thing though. The problem I have with sandbox adventures, especially ones that Wizards of the Coast has written, is they go too big. Like the scale on them is too big. Like Hoard of the Dragon Queen, right? Yeah. It takes you all the way from Phandalin to like way, close to the north. It's too much. I just think it's too wide berth for an adventure. I think what they should try to do is do sandbox. Sandbox is great. Having even fake sandboxes where it's just like a branching sort of adventure, choice A might lead you to choice C or D. I feel like your players will feel like it's a sandbox even though it's not, if you run it right. I feel like they should do that, but in a hyper focus setting, a small area. I think when they just open the floodgates too much sometimes.
Mm-hmm. I think I think they're it's like stand-up comedy. You can't please everybody, so they try to do their best to have like specific individual,
a little bit of everything.
Exactly. Yeah. And then they want it to be sprawling so that when people finish the adventure, they can still, like, if you play or any of these WotC adventures, when you finish it, you're gonna have undiscovered or unexplored parts of it because there's so much. Yeah, so that's why.
For sure. I'm trying right now. I'm trying my hand at writing an adventure that, takes place in a small sort of area, like tops of 4 or 5 different like visitable locations within, a few miles of each other. But I'm trying it what I like to call fake sandbox.
Yeah.
So from the way the players will see it, it seems as if I can do anything, but those anythings you can do are actually laid out in the book. In the PDF in this case. So I'm trying that for an adventure. We're gonna see how it goes. We'll see.
Yeah.
Need play testers. So if anybody's interested in play testing in like a month, hit me up.
Hit her up, everybody.
Hit me up. That's
123 Main Street, Chicago. That's her actual address.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember. I said that yesterday or something. I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yes. What else? I'm a
Drake
little.
ran POTA to 6th level. Look at that. 6th level.
See,
Why do
just what you
campaigns
said.
end at 6th level?
I played through it once. I ran it. I said I did it 2.5 times. One of them was as a player. So I played through the whole thing once. I DM'd the whole thing once, and then I DM'd probably I don't know for sure, but probably to around 6th level before this group fucked me and said, and I had to quit that whole group because they were just insane people.
Right.
These are local Spokanites that live here in my town.
Boo.
None of whom are watching, and probably, to be honest, wouldn't know how to watch Twitch.
Oh god.
Yeah, those are those people. I'm
Not
insulting
those
them.
people.
Players fall apart, not showing up, etc. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's pretty common.
Etc.
COVID-19 killed my home game, and all of the players are related to me. So
yeah, what? Fantasy Grounds.
It was my mom, 2 of my brothers, my husband, my oldest son. That was our game group. And we haven't played since like March of this year, our home game. We'll start it up though after the holidays, I'm sure. As long as COVID's like better.
Dun, 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 dun. Well, as you know, today was the day. It's going to go away on November 4th. That's today.
Right. Yeah,
so I don't know. Maybe COVID's gone. I haven't checked. I don't know how
is
that
supposed to happen though?
I don't know. He's a fucking moron. That's how it happens. On November 4th, you're not going to hear anything more about it. I don't know if you guys know who I'm doing, if this impression. I don't know if you know who this is. But it's a guy that some people know about.
Quite possibly soon to be our former president. Possibly, yeah, I said everybody. It's obviously not the votes
in Nevada.
decided.
He would be a former president. Right. Let's check see. That. In Nevada, still not called. Okay. I'm watching it. I'm monitoring it, everyone. Don't worry, I know. Monitor it.
People have complained in the past if we talk too much about politics, so we won't talk about it too much. But it is day after election day today, everybody. So please forgive us.
Ask Kenneth Copeland. What does that mean? I don't know who Kenneth Copeland is.
I don't know who that is. Because I'm not that smart. Listen. I'm refreshing. 264.
No, you don't have to refresh, Robin.
I know, that's right. I can't help it. Look, I learned how to use a computer in 2nd grade. All right. Oh my gosh. In my school we had do you remember? I'm sure you do. That was not meant as anything. Don't take it the wrong
you're so old.
We had Macintosh computers with like the colored side panels. Do you know what I'm talking about? I don't remember what they were called. I don't remember what they were called. They were Macintoshes. That's what we had at my school. And so we used to have what they would call typing class. We had typing class in 3rd grade. And we would sit down in the computer lab at our school and we would play this game called Mavis Beacon Teaches Typing, something like that. And on these Macintoshes, they also came in with out of the package, installed with Oregon Trail. And I'm sure you guys remember this game. So I was so good at typing, I would always finish typing before the rest of my class would, and I'd have like 20 minutes left of class, and I would sit there and play Oregon Trail for like the last 20 minutes of class time. I don't know why I'm telling this story. It just popped into my head. But yeah, I was in like 3rd grade, and that was my introduction to computers.
When I learned about computers, I'm going to say I was 11. So 1977, thank you. And my first computer that I learned on was, well, for those old people out there, I had a Timex Sinclair, which was a computer you could buy for like 99 bucks and hook to your TV, and then you would save,
What?
yeah, you would save your programs on a cassette tape. That was,
Wow.
yeah, and then but my friend, so my friend, he's still my friend. We've been friends for like 45 years, and his he moved from Spokane to Diamond Lake. And part of that deal was his parents said if we move out there, because he basically changed schools, changed locations, had to go to a
Right.
different high school, all this stuff. And so part of that deal was they got him a computer, which was a TRS-80 Model 1 from Radio Shack, which was at the time was like insane. Like this was before Apple and before anything.
Okay.
And we would program on that, and we wrote the entire game of Monopoly over a summer in basic language.
Oh my
And it
god.
worked, and it was amazing. And you know, we were like 12 and 14 when we did that, and
Right.
it didn't, like, we didn't have the presence of mind at that time to like call Parker Brothers and go, hey, what about this, you know, like we could have been millionaires.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so I've had my computers, because I grew up middle class, right? So
Mm.
every Christmas or birthday I would get something pretty good as a kid, but not much else. But so and then I also
Not me.
I did comic books, and I saved money, and that's how I made money, is I would buy and sell and trade comics when I was a teenager, and
Hmm.
I'd make like 20 bucks a week or whatever, which in the 80s was like, that's huge money, right?
Right. Right. Right.
And
Right.
so I had the Timex, I had TRS-80 Model 4 that I bought myself when I was in the Army. And when I got out of the Army, I had a Commodore 128. I skipped the 64. I never had the 64. But I had the 128D, which was disc. Oh, amazing. And then I had the Atari 400, the Atari 800. I wanted to get an Amiga, but I was never able to do it because they were so expensive. And anyway, I went through all these computers, and then one day I went to like an IBM compatible, like whatever the processor was, 8088, and then it was 8286, 8386, 486, 586 Pentium. And now in my life I've literally owned, between desktops and laptops, probably 30 computers or more. You don't think about it,
Damn.
but over the course of like 35 years or 40 years, whatever it is, you know, even more, then yeah, over the course of 40 years I probably owned 30 computers or so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Not I. I like so my family bought a computer when I was in like 5th grade, and it was a Hewlett Packard, an HP. Um that's all I remember. It said HP on the computer. Um, but it was like that was still back when like monitors were like big blocky things.
Yeah, yeah.
And we played like DOS games on it. I'm trying to think of some of the games we
Zork?
used to play on it. Mm-mm.
No. Oregon Trail was on
No.
DOS.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I was a little kid and I can't remember. And
Yeah,
then we got
you'd be able to get like chess and
Yeah, yeah,
checkers and
stuff
basic
like
stuff like
that
that. Yeah.
for sure. And then we got a computer after that um had a CD. Like that was when games were coming on CDs. And one of the first games I ever played that came on a CD was, I want to say it was the first Baldur's Gate game or Icewind Dale. I don't remember which one. But it was great. And I loved it. This was also around the same time I learned how to play D&D with my brothers. We checked out, I've told this story before, but we checked out the player's handbook from our local library, and we kept it so long that my brother had to pay the library for it. And then we kept it. My brother still has that player's handbook
Cheerbits.
with
Cheerbits in the
the
stream. Thanks for the
library
cheerbits.
UPC on it, like a little
Oh
barcode of
wow.
it. Yeah.
Shearbits. Hey
Uh,
Gwydion. Shearbits. Thank you, sir. Gwydion. Shearbits. Bit boss. Um,
yeah.
probably probably my favorite game of my whole life, which it'd be ridiculous to play it today, but I just enjoyed and logged so many hours on this game, and it was the hunt.
Lemmings.
Oh, Lemmings was super fun. I love
I fucking
Lemmings.
love Lemmings.
But Hunt
Sorry.
for Red October on the Commodore.
Oh
I,
yeah, I've
I
never
must
played
have
that.
played that game. I mean, I can't even really know how many hours it was, but it was hundreds and hundreds of hours. And I think you can probably go to like DOSemulator.com or whatever, one of those websites, and get it, like download it right now in 2 seconds. But
Probably.
but yeah,
I used to
so
love Counter Strike. Like
yeah,
I
I've
know
I've
it's
played
so
Counter Strike.
dorky.
I'm not a big first person shooter fan, but I played Counter Strike a little bit.
Well, this was way back in the day.
Yeah.
When I was in like middle school, we used to play Counter Strike at my friend's house. And they had like 4 computers, and we would like LAN, play against each other. LAN, and then we played in a tournament that was held by this like back in the day, they didn't call it a computer cafe, but that's basically what it was, like an internet cafe. They had a little local tournament there. Me and my friends played in that. And we actually won $100 each for playing Counter Strike Source at the little local computer cafe place thing. It was in the mall. It was fun. Do you remember shopping malls? Who remembers shopping malls? Those are gone
Do you
now.
guys remember?
Do you remember? We used to play in the arcade too. I used to play Gauntlet Legends with my brothers. One of my brothers had the high score on the Pac-Man machine. Oh man, good times. I wish I was a kid again.
Yeah. Oh,
Thanks.
and by the way, it wasn't called Hunt for Red October. It's called Red Storm Rising. That's what I meant. That's the game
Oh,
that
yeah,
I
I've never
played, and
played that
I
either.
think it was released in '88. And
The oldest
so,
game I've ever played is Pong on the Atari. My
oh,
dad's
so
Atari.
my again middle class family. My dad, my mom was a school teacher. My dad was a letter carrier, so they had government jobs. And um, my dad brought home. I want to say it was in 1976. I was a 10-year-old kid. He brought home Pong, and
Yeah.
that like we hooked it up to the TV and played a few games, and literally the physiological being that was Rob Tui changed. Like I was like, what is this?
Right?
And I had
That's
maybe
how it
seen
starts, everybody.
stand up versions of it at like the airport, or and it was because there
Mhm.
were no arcades or anything. It was just you'd just be in a weird place. Like the airport comes to mind. That's the only place that came to mind. And you'd see people
Right.
standing there and like a crowd around. Like what is happening? What is that? And then he
Yeah.
brings it home. Probably costs like $400 or some ridiculous amount. And then the next year for Christmas, I got Atari 2600, and that's it. My whole life was just over right then.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I was my generation was like Super Nintendo. That was like the shit.
Right.
Um
Dun, 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 dun,
yeah.
dun, dun,
I
dun,
wasted a
dun,
lot
dun,
of
dun.
my life playing Legend of Zelda games.
So
Super Mario.
my comedy partner Ray Klein in 1990 whatever it was, he for Christmas he gave me Legend of Zelda for Nintendo.
Which one? The original one?
Probably the first one,
Okay.
whichever
The
one was.
Legend of Zelda?
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
And I played it, and I wasn't, I wasn't very. I'm not a very good. I'm not a competitively good video game player. I'm okay,
Right.
but I played that game until I beat it. It took me like a year,
Yes. Yep.
and I was like, no, no, I can't go anywhere. People would, Rob, let's go, no, and they go Zelda, and I go, yeah, because I'm like, I wouldn't go anywhere
Yeah.
with anybody. I had to beat that game. But
Yeah,
yeah,
the first game I ever beat, like all the way to the end, was a Legend of Zelda game. It was A Link to the Past, the best one. That is the best, definitively the best Zelda game. Fucking fight me.
I've never played
But
any
yeah,
other Zelda game. I only just played that one.
A Link to the Past is like the best one, Rob. You should
Because
play
what
that
would
one.
happen is you would have Nintendo, and then you'd have that, and 2 years would go by, and now you got to buy something else. Xbox, PlayStation, like
Yeah,
you got to get all
no.
crazy with the new shit.
I'm not that much of a console gamer,
I'm not
but I
either.
was when I was a kid. That's what we had.
I have a PS3 or 4. I don't even know. and I have an Xbox One. Neither one of them have been turned on for more than a year.
Oh my
And
god.
I saw the PS5 the other day, and I was like, I didn't even know that was going to be a thing yet. I had no,
I
because,
didn't either.
and I'm,
Is it out? I didn't even
it
know
is out.
that.
Yeah, I think it's out, or maybe it's going to be out
What?
for, I don't know. Somebody had a picture of it next. They had a picture of a PS5 next to a PS4, and I didn't even know the PS5 was a PS5. I thought, what's that odd
Oh.
looking weird machine? And the caption was just, it's so big, that was just huge.
Oh my
I don't know.
god.
So I think, I don't
Great.
know, is
Another
PS5
thing
out
we
yet,
can't
everybody?
fit on our entertainment shelf. Like my husband likes console games. He's very big, not like, huge into them, but he does like playing console games every now and then. So he has an Xbox, two of them actually, one upstairs and one downstairs. Okay, maybe he is kind of a big console gamer. And we used to have a PlayStation. I don't remember if we do anymore or not. I can't remember. But yeah, I like it because if I'm just working, usually I'm working in the living room like after the kids go to bed, and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to play some, No Man's Sky or whatever." He'll load it up on the Xbox and he'll be playing and I'll be working and I get to watch. And so in that way, I feel like I get to experience a lot of the games, especially newer games because he likes a lot of like Assassin's Creed, those kind of games with like, there's a cool story to those games.
Yeah.
If you've ever played them, Skyrim, that kind of stuff. So he likes games like that. And for me, I don't have to do any work or get stressed over the game for nothing, but I can still get to see what happens. It's like the best situation. So if you can just marry a gamer, Rob, then you get to enjoy the games without actually
Oh, I need to
play
marry.
them.
Yes, I need to marry a younger gamer. That's what I need to do.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
you go.
because so Journeyman's talking about that they had Intellivision. So here's the story about Intellivision. The Intellivision came out, I want to say in '79, and
Oh
it
my
was
god.
it was the upgrade to the Atari. Like the Atari was what there was. It was the industry standard, and then Intellivision came along, and I think Atari cost like about 100 or 120 bucks. And Intellivision was 300, and
Jeez.
I used to
Even
come
back
home
then, that's a lot of money.
I used to come home from school every day, open the Sears catalog. Now let me just stop here and explain.
I know what
Catalogs
a
are
Sears
like
catalog
books that
is.
are for
Stop it.
anyway, and
It's
Sears used to
Sky
be a,
Mall, but
yeah,
not on
exactly.
airplanes.
So I
Okay.
would I would go to the page in the Sears catalog where they had Intellivision, and it was like, $299.99. And I would literally, this is how crazy I was. I would just read the little paragraph description and look at the pictures
Oh,
over and over like 15 times a day. And it was my
that's
dream to
funny.
get this. And I fulfilled that dream in 1986 when I bought it with my own
He's
money
almost
in the
10 years
army. Yeah.
old. Oh my god,
And
that's
I was in
funny.
the army and I bought it. And I was at White Sands Missile Range, New Mexico, which is near the city of Las Cruces, and they had a Walmart. And by the way, I'd never seen Walmart in my life, didn't know what it was because this was 1985 or 86. And they had a
Wait, you're
Intellivision.
telling me it wasn't a Walton's Five and Dime back then? Sorry,
Oh,
sorry.
because
Carry on.
because I'm from the 1800s. Yeah, that's a good
No,
one.
but it was called Walton's Five and Dime until like the
Oh,
70s,
no, I didn't
maybe.
know that. It was definitely a
Um,
Walmart. And they had
okay,
an
I could be
Intellivision,
wrong.
and
Don't take my word for it.
these cartridges when they came out, these game cartridges were 30 and 35, whatever they were when they came out. And they had like a bin of Intellivision games for like $3 each or whatever. So I just fucking
Damn.
bought all of them. I bought
Fuck
every one they
yeah.
had. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. I
So,
did it. I don't even notice that I do
see?
it until you point it out.
But
Uh,
I until and so and what the whole thing about um the whole thing about Intellivision
fuck yeah.
was that it was so cool. And so when I was in high school, I was a sophomore in high school, and I was in the senior math class. And there was this kid, Chris Gray, who basically took me under his wing, almost near, could have even been the first day of class, we got to talking about video games. So he told all the other seniors in the class, Rob's with me, don't fuck with him if I catch you. And he wasn't necessarily like a tough guy or anything, but everybody respected him. And his name was Chris Gray, and he had a gray circle in his hair, like he had
Oh,
dark hair,
wow.
like he got hit by lightning or something. He said, no, I was just born that way.
Yeah.
And so
That's cool.
one day he invited me to his house to play in television, and again, I was changed as a human being playing this in television, right? And it made me so obsessed. And then it took me like another 5 years to get that, probably at the end of its life, or whatever, but I was so happy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends that had like all the cool new stuff when it came out, like the first PlayStation, Sega Dreamcast. We never had that. Like, so we had a regular Nintendo and a Super Nintendo until like 2000. You know what I mean? Like, we weren't very rich, and that was around the time that like my older brothers started, getting their own jobs and stuff like that. And then we had, PlayStation. A big one in our house was actually the Nintendo 64 and the GameCube, the Nintendo GameCube. Those were great because we used to play like Mario Party together, the first and second Mario Party games. Super fun, kind of like Jackbox Party Pack games.
Yeah.
I don't know, they have like a bunch of mini games and it's like a board game. We had a lot of fun playing those.
Yeah.
Good times, yeah.
Good times. Pong.
Yeah. I don't know how we went down this. Let's talk about old games. I don't even know how we got here.
It's nerd culture. That's what we tend to talk about.
Yeah, that's right.
Nerd culture. Right. Like, for example, nerd culture. I'm still watching all the James Bond movies in order.
Oh, that reminds me. When you're done, I was going to tell you something that I think you'll be proud of me for.
Did you watch something?
Yeah. So Scott and I and my oldest son, Sean, we've been watching the entire Star Wars movie collection.
Yay!
All of it. And we're watching them in not release order, but like chronological story order.
Yeah.
So we watched the prequel trilogy first, and then we watched the Han Solo movie and Rogue One, and then we watched episode 4 and episode 5, and tomorrow we'll be watching episode 6, Return of the Jedi, or Empire Strikes Back. I forget which one. Sorry. Look, okay, I'm not that good at Star Wars yet.
This one here is the best one, and that's number 5.
Number 5. Okay, yeah. So then the next one is Return of the Jedi, right?
Correct.
Yeah, okay. Look, I'll get it eventually. And then Scott and I also watched, Rob, we watched the entirety of The Mandalorian. And I know now, in retrospect, we should have watched it after everything, I'm aware. But we couldn't help it. It was so good. I really liked The Mandalorian. We're all caught up on it now, and there's a new episode that comes out on Friday. So now we can watch that as the new episodes come out. But it was really good. Have you seen The Mandalorian?
Oh, fucking A.
Oh, okay. I'm just making sure.
I went through the painstaking process of watching it every Friday, one at a time.
Right.
Now, someone in the chat will know this. Does Mandalorian take place after Return of the Jedi?
Oh my God, Rob. Yes, it takes place like 50 years after everything.
Oh, so it's even after episode 9.
If you pay attention,
okay, well, I don't know.
They say things. Oh my gosh.
That's why No, I know, but I watch so much stuff, and I'm old, and I can't remember things. My name's Rob. That's all that's really important. But and you're
we talk about the New Republic all the time, which is after.
Because this is why I get so incensed with people.
I know something that he doesn't know. That's impressive.
No, but I know, but I just didn't remember. But that's what makes me so mad when people refer to the child as Baby Yoda. Because Yoda is fucking dead.
Identify him, Rob.
I know.
It's like it. Okay, for example, I have one of my sons resembles me, and I know that he's my son. So he's not really a a duplicate of me, but I still call him my mini me. It's like that. It's just a funny thing to say because it's cute.
There are people there are people you will find people who think that is Yoda when he was
It's
young.
not Baby Yoda. Yeah, no.
And I'm like,
It's
stop
a
being a
member of Yoda's
bitch.
species, but it is not like Yoda unless, and here's my theory, Rob. This
Okay.
is my fucking tinfoil hat theory.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for qualifying.
Yoda's species, this is a theory. This is not fact. Okay. But I think Yoda's species reincarnates. And I think the child is Yoda reincarnated. That's all.
Yeah,
My
they could, because there's no canon for it, they could do that if they wanted to. And
yeah.
shock the world, right? They could say, "Oh, that is
Mhm.
Yoda." But
That's
see,
my theory.
they went way out of their way to refer to it as the child. And even if you buy, like, if you buy the doll or if you buy a
Oh,
sticker or anything,
yeah.
it's
My
all the
kid
child,
got
right?
the costume. That's what
Yeah.
sparked all of this. I was at Walmart, like, a week before Halloween looking for costumes. I think originally we wanted him to be, like, a dragon or a dinosaur or a lion something because he recently learned how to, like, roar. My 2-year-old chat, that's what we're talking about. So we'd be like, "Cameron, roar," and he'd be like, "Roar," and it was really cute. So we thought we would get, a costume that he could go trick or treating and like roar and it'd be funny and cute. But of course, I went to Walmart to get their costumes like 2 days before Halloween. Mistake number 1. So there weren't like a lot of choices left. And then I saw, hanging on the rack, the little Yoda head, and the little Yoda robe. And I was like, oh, it's, Baby Yoda. I didn't even know what it was from. Rob, I had never even seen Mandalorian up to this point. So I picked it up and it said, Star Wars, The Mandalorian, the logo. And then it said,
Right.
the child was the costume. And I was like, what the fuck is this? But it
Right.
looks like Baby Yoda to me, someone who's passingly familiar with Star Wars. So I bought it. He was fucking adorable, by the way. I have to show you a picture. And my kid was Baby Yoda, but it was, the costume said it was the child. So it was from The Mandalorian. Fucking adorable. Okay. That's all. Anyways, I bought that and I was like, well, now I have to see this show if there's a Baby Yoda character in it. And that's why we watched The Mandalorian. You're welcome.
Fuck yeah.
All
You're
right.
welcome.
And now I am officially a semi fan of Star Wars stuff. That's all.
Good. And it is good. It is good.
Yes.
I know there's people get crazy about this, but I'm just such an original trilogies fan because that meant so much to me. And I do like Force Awakens and
I haven't seen it yet.
whatever the last one was. I'm not a fan of episode 8, which I won't tell you why, spoilers. But
Okay.
I'm one of these people that if the I'm one of these people that if the first 3 movies, episodes 1, 2, and 3, just didn't exist, I'd be perfectly fine with that.
I liked 1, 2, and 3. Like, I liked him a lot. I really
Right.
liked
I
him.
think if you grew up as I did and watched 4, 5, and 6 as a child, you would maybe be of a different opinion about that. It's all based on your experience, right? Because when
Right.
Star Wars came out in the theater, it was 1977. There had been no movie even close to what that experience was ever. And that was like the first. Again, for the 4th time tonight, I'm explaining about a physiological change in my being, sitting as an 11-year-old watching that in the theater, like, what in the fuck is happening? And my stupid friend, it was 5th grade, I guess. My stupid
Oh my
friend.
god. Sorry. I just thought of I was 11 when The Phantom Menace came out. So
You shut up.
crazy.
So,
Okay.
yeah, you were born in 88, right? Okay.
Mhm.
So, Star Wars
Your
was
friend. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm trying to help you.
Star Wars.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
Star Wars is such a phenomenon that in 1999, when Phantom Menace came out, people were paying full price to go to movies to watch the 2.5-minute Star Wars preview and then leave. They didn't watch
Yes.
the movie they paid for. Yeah, that's how
I
crazy
heard
it
of
is.
that. That's
So,
crazy.
my friend had seen Star Wars, and I hadn't seen it. And he was like, Rob. and he was so excited he couldn't even talk. He's like, there's a movie, and I'm like, okay, what's it about? And his fucking rendition of what this movie about did not sell it. He's like, there's a robot and he's gold, but then there's a dude and he's got a mask. So picture you know nothing about Star Wars. So I'm thinking it's fucking Friday the 13th. He's got a mask.
Right,
okay, great.
Right.
And then they're in space, not on planets, but in space. They're in space, and he just fucked it wholly. And I'm like, I was not interested. I'm like, okay, thanks. And then it became like it's on the news every night, and it's in the newspaper. See, these are these paper things where you open them like that and they have print in them and then you read.
I know what a newspaper is. We get them still, so.
Well, and do you have a landline, Grandma?
No.
Anyway, so I saw this movie, and of course you've seen it, right? So you see this movie, and I'm an 11-year-old kid, and then I don't recall how many times I saw it in the theater in its first run, probably 2 or 3, but it just changed me. And then what really changed me was when I was 14, this movie came out, and I saw that, and I was like, motherfuck me. Hold on, I gotta play.
Motherfuck me.
There we go. And then at the end, it was like the first time in my life where I was like, you gotta be fucking shitting me. We'll meet you at the rendezvous. See you in 3 years. Like, what? No, you know. Yeah. So and then I'm 17 when Return of the Jedi comes out, I was a junior in high school, skipping school with a lawn chair, sitting at the movie theater like 6 hours before tickets went on sale.
Oh my god!
And a line formed behind me. I was just smart, got down there first.
That's dedication.
With a friend, and then we got the tickets, and he ran the chairs to the car and put them in. And yeah, and so I mean, Star Wars is a fucking huge thing. Even though I'm such a huge Star Wars fan, I do have Star Trek tattooed on my body. I mean, let's just be honest.
I mean, I like Star Trek better than Star Wars.
Well,
and part of that is just because I've seen way more Star Trek than I have seen until now.
Yeah. And for me, Star Trek was, it obviously Star Trek was 11 years before Star Wars. And as a small child, there was no Star Wars for me. And Star Trek was on TV and in syndication.
Yeah, you could watch it like every fucking day.
And that was part of it. I would come home from school, read the television Sears catalog, and then watch Star Trek and Gilligan's Island and Brady Bunch and Flintstones, right?
Right.
That's
exactly.
And so, but Star Wars is amazing, and now what they're doing with it. I was a little worried when Disney were the people that took over, but The Mandalorian is incredible. That's a fucking amazing.
Yeah, The Mandalorian's really good. Like, I really, really like it.
Yeah.
We watched the entirety of the first season in like 3 days.
Right.
And that's amazing. Just us like casually watching an episode or two, like after the kids go to bed. Some nights it was like 3 or 4 episodes. It's just so good. It's so good. I love it. It's quite possibly, it's up there for me with like Game of Thrones and The Witcher, which are some of my favorite TV shows.
It is just, and the reason it's so good is almost, the show creator, Jon Favreau, and most, if not all, of the directors of each of the episodes are uber Star Wars fans. Like, they would never let anything bad happen to it.
Yeah, and there's like a lot of small details too in the show that I've noticed. They have pulled these things from the movies. They're not important things at all.
No.
But like the milk is blue, which is, a callback to what I think the second movie or the first movie, they were drinking blue milk.
Yeah.
Just like dumb little tiny things like that.
They don't consider those dumb. They're like every meticulous detail is followed.
You know what I mean? Like they're so insignificant. Like you could leave that out and it doesn't affect the show. Right. They still put it in. It's just I think it's awesome.
they do. So Mandalorian especially does a lot of fan pleasing. Like like the Jawas, Utini, this sound, or
of course.
In the latest, this isn't a spoiler, but in the latest episode, they did the sand people and they had their or you know
Yeah.
from
Mhm.
it's fucking so amazing. And you're like yes that
Yeah. Yes. I love it. I love the whole thing. I love that it's a TV show. I think that for me is the biggest plus to it. Um, as you all know, I'm not that big of a movie watcher, and for me to sit down and watch a movie is like asking a lot of me, which is weird because I can sit and watch like 3 episodes of a show, no fucking problem. But I think the difference between a movie and a show is if I have to stop it in between an episode or whatever, no big deal. But if you have to do something in the middle of a movie, like you have to pause it, and I don't know, for me, I find that it's with my life sometimes it's just problematic.
yeah.
But I am liking the Star Wars movies. I did really like the prequels. I know that a lot of people don't, and that's fine.
But
That's your
again, I think
opinion,
that,
and
as
you're
I said,
entitled to it.
that's an experiential thing where people from my generation tend to not like them because if you watch them from the beginning, you're like, oh, it's a story about Darth Vader, cool. But
Mhm, yeah.
if you watch them as they were released, you're like, what is this bullshit? It's like they went back on purpose to make $1 billion off of people who would go no matter what, and the stories were just kind of shitty as compared to the middle ones. And so they,
Yes.
but I mean, people, you can,
I have so like I have the opposite problem, I think, because I watched the prequels first, and then I watched the original trilogy, which we haven't finished. I haven't watched the sixth movie yet, episode 6. So there's problems I see in the older movies, episode 4 and episode 5. Like in the second movie, for example, episode 5, Leia, Leia, numerous times throughout the movie pronounces Han's name correctly and then incorrectly. And like she bounces back and forth. It bothers me. Stuff like that really bothers me. So sometimes she'll call him Han, and then other times she'll call him Han, which is in a lot of the scenes with Lando Calrissian. So I don't know if it's because she was playing off of the actor who was playing Lando who calls him Han. It just really fucking bothered me. Little shit like that
yeah,
bothers me. you know? And then the scene where Darth Vader and Obi-Wan fight each other. This is in episode 4. Yeah, when Darth Vader and Obi-Wan fight each other with lightsabers. The choreography for that scene was just really horrible. You should watch it. They're like just barely poking at each other with the
oh, it
lightsaber,
is, but
but they're supposed to be fighting.
that's
It's like,
because that
no.
was the first thing they ever made. They'd never done it
I
before,
know, I'm sure,
and it
but
was
it's
made in.
really bad.
Well, yeah, but it got better as more movies were made, but
And that's fair, but you can see why, me and for my taste, I like the flashiness. I like the sort of decadent style of the first 3, the prequel
yeah,
movies.
that's
They're
why
beautiful, they're
you'll have
gorgeous to look
people
at.
you'll
Yeah,
have
a lot of
people argue with you
cinematography is beautiful.
that that's the reason not to watch them in chronological order. You're supposed to watch them in release order so that that doesn't happen to you. Because
I
when you
get it.
compare Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader fighting on the Death Star, and you compare that to like Qui-Gon Jinn fighting Darth Maul, it's not even
Right.
fucking in the same
Yeah,
universe,
you
right?
can't even compare the 2.
So you gotta not watch them that way. But now you've already ruined
I
it.
did like the scene where Darth Maul gets cut in half, which really made the Han Solo movie confusing to me because it takes place after that trilogy. I don't know, is this spoilery? Has everybody seen the Han Solo movie?
You mean the movie that came out like
I've already
5 years
talked
ago?
about it.
It's too
Yeah,
late.
okay,
You
so
didn't see it.
can I talk about it?
I
Because
don't.
at the end of that movie, there's a scene with Darth Maul in it, but it doesn't make any sense because he got cut in half like 10 years prior to that. I didn't understand it.
Messy Fresh is
You
saying no
have seen it.
spoilers.
He watched it with me. What is he talking about?
I don't understand that, Robin. I only saw that movie
I'm
once because I
sorry,
didn't really like
guys.
it. I actually am not a big fan of the Star Wars movies that are alternate, like Rogue One, and I just don't. It's fine.
Spoiled it. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to spoil it. Just that like sometimes the little incontinuity, and I don't know if there's a reason. Maybe they did that on purpose. Maybe
Well, the thing is,
the spoiler is Darth
was
Maul
that
didn't
in fact
die.
Darth Maul? Was it
Right.
someone
No,
else?
it was
Yeah.
Darth Maul. Rob, I'm not that dumb. I know what
No,
Darth Maul
no,
was.
I'm asking. I'm saying I don't believe it
Oh,
was, but they don't really explain it.
okay. She calls him Darth, and you can see him in
Darth is
movies
not
with
a
Darth
name.
Maul.
Darth
No,
is
I know
not a
it's a title,
yeah.
but how many other people of Darth Maul's exact race would also be a Sith Lord? Like, explain your logic to me, Rob.
Okay, I will since you asked me. There are twins, there are secret ones, there are
Oh my god.
replacements, all
Okay,
this
all
other
right.
shit, right?
Moving on. Oh, Belle didn't like the Ewoks. I haven't seen the movie with the Ewoks in it yet, but it's the next one. I know what Ewoks are though. You know, I've seen every GIF of them possible. I think Ewoks are adorable, so I hope they don't ruin the movie for me. The next movie, The Return of the Jedi. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What are you doing, Rob?
Sorry. I'm staring at how can Darth Maul be in Solo. I'm gonna answer the question.
Oh, are you
Oh, I
googling
forgot
it?
Emilia Clarke was in that. Yeah.
Mhm. Yep, she played a really interesting character. I liked
Uh.
it.
Uh.
The guy
A
that
lot
got to
of
play
people have seen
Han
Solo and
Solo
are
was really good.
confused by this appearance. This seems to muddy the Star Wars timeline.
That's what I just said.
Yeah. Um. Timelines can get baffling. No Solo Star Wars story does, in fact, take place roughly 2 decades after Phantom Menace, around
Which
11 to 14 years before A New Hope.
yeah, we watched it before we watched A New Hope because I had looked up the chronological order of the Star Wars movies, and we've been watching them in that order.
So, I mean, I don't want
I don't
to,
understand why he's there.
I don't want to be 5 minutes of a blank stare on my face for the show but
Yeah,
there is explanation. I just don't know what it is. Um,
probably because they were gonna do a sequel to the Solo movie, the Han Solo movie. There was probably gonna be a sequel. That's why the ending is left open ended, with that character appearing. And I assume because it was a box office bomb that they regret that choice, and there probably won't be a
yeah,
sequel.
but it still doesn't explain how he's alive, right?
But that's what I'm saying. There's probably gonna be a second movie to explain
Yeah.
why he was there. It didn't make sense though. It was
Gorvidal
weird
says they are making a sequel to Solo. Why?
because Darth Maul was in Solo for some reason and nobody knows why.
Ron
That's their
Howard
answer.
Ron Howard is one of my favorite directors. He's done a lot of great movies, and he took over directing that from some other person. But the movie Solo itself as a whole is a giant piece of shit. It's just
Well,
not
I
good.
didn't mind it. I didn't think it
Well,
was
I mean
that
it's
bad.
tolerable, but you compare it
It
to
wasn't
others
that
and it's
good though. Yeah, it was very mediocre. I thought after I watched it, I was like, that was all right. you
and
know,
there's a lot of sloppy filmmaking in it that you could tell wasn't Ron Howard's part. Like
right,
in certain scenes you could see like shit in the screen that shouldn't be there and crazy shit like
right.
that.
Kind of
There
like
was
how
no
they left
Starbucks
us
coffee cup, I'll tell you that
right
right
on
now.
the set of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
But that's the best one ever. Like that will go down in history forever. Like every TV show or movie ever made after,
Yeah, they'll be
all
for
the
sure.
production crews are going to be like hyper aware of cups being left on set before they start filming. For sure. Like that's just going to be a thing now. I've never seen Backdraft, Journeyman.
Backdraft is really good. You have to stomach through William Baldwin, but it's really good.
Don't know who William Baldwin is.
Alec Baldwin's brother.
Oh, I know who Alec Baldwin is. Oh, is William Baldwin the one that was in 30 Rock?
No,
Or
that's
was that
Alec.
Alec Baldwin?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. Was William Baldwin the one that was in Gossip Girl?
Um, I never
I'm
saw Gossip Girl. Is that
fairly
the one with
certain I
Lauren,
love
whatever her
Gossip
name is,
Girl.
that I'm so in love with, and I never watched her show?
Blake Lively was in it. Ryan Reynolds' wife.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds. He's the shit.
There was a Baldwin, I think, in Gossip Girl. I just don't remember.
Let's see if there was Gossip Girl.
Alec Baldwin. Maybe it was William Baldwin.
2021 series. What do you mean? That's not even.
What? Is there a new one? Are they
Oh,
bringing it back? You guys, Gossip Girl is like a secret, dirty passion of mine. I fucking love that show.
Blake Lively, Kristen Bell, blah blah blah. I don't
He's
see
a
any
minor
Baldwin's
character,
name
but he was in
here.
like a lot of episodes. Well, maybe it's a guy who just looks like he could be related to the Baldwins.
Here, let's go down to recurring cast. I don't see William Baldwin's name listed anywhere. No. Nope.
It was
20
William Baldwin.
Was it?
Yeah, I just Googled the character.
What was his character's name?
Dr. William Vanderwoodson was played by William Baldwin. I do know people, Rob. Aren't you proud
Why
of
is that
me?
not listed here on the? I'm looking at
Because he
Wikipedia.
was only in like maybe a handful of like 10 episodes, you know, like.
Okay, well, so since you like him, he's in Backdraft.
Well, I didn't say I liked him.
Well, you know who he is.
He wasn't terrible. He totally looks like a Baldwin, though.
What? Dr. William Vandenbergen? What's his name?
William Vanderwoodson.
That's so made up. Well, I mean, it is made up.
Well, duh, it's a fucking TV show.
You know when they have, you know, people write TV shows or movie scripts and you're like, that's a made up name, and then you go, well, yeah, it's all made up, but that sounds so made up. You know, like don't.
Oh, Journeyman says the Star Wars animated shows explain Darth Maul in Solo. So, are you talking about the Clone Wars cartoon? Because I may or may not have started watching that.
I can't do animation. I don't.
It's so weird to me watching that show though, because Anakin is like, it's before Anakin is Darth Vader when he's a Jedi. And in the cartoon, because it's a kid's show, he's very up sort of personality, you know what I mean? Like very happy-go-lucky almost, and it's very weird to me. And I get it because it's a cartoon, but I don't like it. It's very weird, but I'm watching it anyways. I like his Jedi Padawan. I forget her name. Ahsoka. She's like one of those people with like the two things on their head, and she's like red color with stripes.
Twi'lek or Twi'lek?
No, not that race. Well, maybe she is the same race. I don't know what race she is.
Yeah, isn't that a Twi'lek, everybody? Isn't that what that is? That they have the thing?
But they look the same, but not quite. Okay, what race is Ahsoka? Let me look it up. I'm going to get the Wikipedia. I thought that was clever when I started.
It's Googling. A Wikipedia. Wikipedia, yeah.
The Wikipedia. Ahsoka Tano she's a Togruta. That's her race. They look kind of like Twi'leks, but not quite the same.
Say the race again. Togruta.
Togruta. Togruta. Togruta.
Oh yeah. Now,
right.
Now
so you see why I'm trying to describe them, and you're like, "Oh, Twi'lek." I'm like, no, not quite.
How could you? But then when you try to describe it, when the person you're talking to doesn't know, how would you differentiate the?
Right.
Yeah. No, the other one. That's what you say.
Star Wars nerds now. I'm a Star Wars nerd now. This is so weird.
We're so
it's like new territory for me. I'm enjoying it though. It's really good. Okay, that's all. I wanted to tell you, Rob, that I started watching Star Wars. That was the whole point of all of
this. I'm so proud of you.
Am I inducted to the cool kids club now?
Yes.
Sweet. Cool. Awesome. Fuck yeah.
She doesn't hear that, so I play your sound clips and you don't hear them, but the stream does.
Oh yeah, I can't hear it, so it must sound so hilarious. I'm like, fuck yeah!
It'll be good because in 25 years, when you go back and watch all our shows, you'll be like, oh my god, I never said that.
Right?
That's so right. Cool.
We're gonna be like, what is wrong with me? For cursing so much. I know I'm gonna regret it someday in my life. How I have a potty mouth.
Well, it's honestly one of your most qualities that I like the most.
Me and my potty mouth.
You don't think. You're like me. You don't think about it. You just do it.
Yeah.
It's your
I've always been like this.
Ingrained. Yeah, me too.
Can't help it.
I told you the story. My mom, I think I've told this story before. I was about 17 and my mom was mad about something, and she wasn't mad about. Oh no, I think she was mad at my dad. And my dad was sitting at the eating. For some reason, my dad was eating at the table, and my mom and I were standing like at the opposite end of the kitchen, by the fridge, between the refrigerator and the sink. The refrigerator was behind the sink. So anyway, my mom's like leaning against the refrigerator, and I'm leaning against the sink, and my dad's eating something, and she's telling a story about why she's pissed off, and
Mhm.
I think her goal was to shock my dad. My dad was pretty straight, unbelievably, right? And my
Mhm.
mom said the F word, and kind of like looked over to see if my dad was going to react to it, and I just looked at my mom and I went, no, no.
No,
And my mom
no.
was like, what? She goes, you say it all the time. And I go, yeah, but I'm a 17-year-old kid and you're like a lady. And you're like a
Right.
school teacher. I go, it's very unladylike and it's especially unmom-like. So please don't let me ever hear that again. And
Yeah.
I'm like lecturing my
Did
mother
I
and I'm
say that to
17, right?
me?
And she's like, okay.
Like,
And then
no.
I believe maybe in the rest of her life till she was 75 years old, I might have heard her say it one other time.
Dang, Rob, you
Yeah,
just like took away your mom's power
I
to
shut
even
that shit
curse.
down. Now, when I wasn't around, I'll bet you she said it a million times.
Yeah, probably.
But I said,
Damn.
and she goes, any other words? And I go, no. I go, there's any other words not going to bother me, and there's certain words that would, but I know you'll never say them.
Right.
you know, and she goes, okay. And my mom was not a. That's about the one and only time in my life that I ever told my mom, I don't want to ever see you do that. And she didn't say, you don't fucking tell me what to do.
Right.
She just agreed.
Yeah.
She said, okay,
You're not my boss.
yeah,
That's funny. Like, so I've never been like the kind of person who was like, "Oh, don't curse around especially my own kids." I don't curse around other people's kids, especially if I don't know them that well. So like if I've been invited to like a barbecue or whatever, I don't if there's other kids there. I don't walk around being like, "Fuck this shit," whatever. Because they're other people's kids, I'm a respectful person. But like in my own home, I've always cursed. I can't help it sometimes. I'm just like, "Fuck," if I stub my toe or
yeah,
whatever. Um, and like so I remember specifically with each of my boys, when they got to the ages where they were like mimicking everything I say, the first time they ever say a bad word, I'm always like, no, that's a grown up word. That's what I've always told them. It's a grown up word. You can say it when you're older. Cause I don't care. I don't fucking care. So it's really funny now with my 13-year-old. He, he's of the age he'll like he has a Discord server where he plays like video games with his friends, and they send each other TikTok and like gifs and stuff like that.
yeah,
And so he'll show them to me sometimes because he thinks they're so funny, and he knows I like a good laugh, and because I guess I'm kind of in with his generation because I play video games too. So he'll like show me something. It's like a funny meme of, like, I don't fucking know. He plays this game called why can't I think of the name? Oh, he plays Fortnite and Minecraft and stuff like that. So show me a funny meme, like a Minecraft meme, and it has the F word in it. And he like read it out loud to me, but skip over the F word. And I'm
yeah,
like, yes, I did it right. Like he knows
yeah,
that's a grown up word. He's 13. It's like really impressive. He laughs because it's funny. He'll even skip over if it's like shit or damn or whatever. Like just doesn't read any of them because he fucking
yay!
knows.
There you
It's
go.
hilarious.
I'm on DM. Thanks for the resub. Yeah,
I did
resub.
say Jeff because you always yell at people when they say it the other way.
I just made
You
a note that you
conditioned
said it
me,
correctly. I was so happy.
right? Yeah. But
But
anyways,
it
yeah.
didn't seem like you were concentrating to say it. It seemed like it was a natural pronunciation for
No,
you.
I thought about it before I
Oh,
said
you
it.
did?
Yeah, I
You
did.
fooled me. You fooled me.
Because for me, naturally, I will say GIF. Like that's how I've always said it. But for you, I say GIF.
Yeah.
You're
I get
welcome.
how people say GIF because that's how they heard it the first time, or that's how they heard it for many years before an argument started about it. But people don't realize that, when you say something the wrong way, you can change it. You can change your ways. Challenge your beliefs, y'all.
Journeyman says
Because
his son will yell language when they swear. I fucking love that. I love it. Oh, that's adorable. I'm sorry.
There's gigantic and giraffe and gym, GYM, and other words that are a soft G. And remember, it's not an anagram. An anagram is where you switch the letters around. What's the acronym? Acronyms are their own words.
It's an acronym.
And they don't use the and then of course my last argument to people is, if you say GIF, then by your own logic you must also pronounce JPEG JFEG, because the P stands for photographic. So let's just get it together, people. That's my
argument. Would if they included the H. If it was JPHEG.
No, but people say, oh no, Rob, it's a hard G because graphic. It doesn't say GR, it just says G.
We've talked about this before. We don't need to rehash it. I say GIF when I'm in your presence.
I appreciate
that
it.
That should be a win for you.
I'm going to say to you what a store owner would say to you as a person who shops there. I appreciate your patronage.
Thanks.
Thanks. Oh my God, is it time for you to... I know Robin has to go, everybody, so don't...
I have to leave kind of... I can't stay as long... Well, usually we go to like 10 o'clock or whatever. My cats are getting groomed tomorrow. And by that, I mean... So I have to... Listen, shut the fuck up, okay?
No, I just can't wait to... I can't wait for you to decipher what the code is about your cats are getting groomed tomorrow. That's not what that means to me. Go ahead.
But it's... literally the truth. When have I ever lied to you?
No, but you said what you did was you said my cats need grooming, and you said what that means is, and I was about to wait for the pussy joke to happen.
No, I mean, because I know people, it's common for dogs to get groomed, especially if you own like a poodle or a doodle or all the fucking mixed breeds with poodles that there are, golden doodles. Okay, anyways. So dog breeding is really, or dog grooming is really common. But okay, I have 2 long-haired cats. Everyone's aware. I think I've had them on the show a few times. They like come to fuck with me when I'm streaming anyways. And so the male, he has like a triple coat. Some cats have double coats, which is like an undercoat and an overcoat. But the male cat, he has a triple coat, which is like a snow coat, which is like what Maine Coons and Norwegian forest cats have. Oh my God, I'm a fucking nerd. Okay, anyways. So
I'm like, oh, I don't know this information.
Okay.
I'm happy to learn this.
So even though I brush him like every 30 days, give or take, he gets matted really bad. Yeah. Like his fur still mats no matter how much I brush him. And they're fucking cats. They don't, some cats like it, some cats don't. He tolerates it, and that's it. The girl cat, my girl cat, she hates being brushed. Like if she sees the brush, she attacks it. She's like, I gotta kill that fucking thing. So I have to take them to a groomer to give them what they call a hygiene shave, basically where they shave all the hair near the butt, the legs, and their paws. And then for my male cat, he's going to get a lion cut. And that's exactly what you think it is.
Uh-huh.
He'll look like a lion. So it'll be just neck and head fur, and then little tufts at his feet and a little tuft at the end of his tail, and everything else will get shaved down. And it's just to help him because the mats get painful if they get really tight.
Yeah.
And they tug on his skin. So yeah, okay. So I'm getting my cats groomed.
Yeah, it's funny tomorrow. Because we would do that to our dogs for the same reason, especially in the winter when their hair they'd go out in the backyard.
Yeah,
it mats from if there's snow on the ground.
Yeah,
and the dogs when they came back from the groomer, they literally looked like pigs. Because they had no fur anywhere.
Oh.
Well, they had fur, but it was all shaved, right?
So for cats, you can't actually shave them all the way down to their skin. Their skin is thinner than dogs' skin. Like the actual skin is a lot thinner. Their skin is like the skin of our lips, right? It's so thin. If you cut too close, you will nick them. So for cats, they usually leave it, a couple of centimeters of hair is
Right.
left even when they get shaved down, and that's just to keep them still some protection. My cats don't go outside. I've had indoor outdoor cats, but these particular cats are not indoor outdoor cat. They are indoors only. I take them out like on walks like fucking dogs. Judge me all you want, but you know, fresh air is good for cats too. Anyway, so I've taken them outside on leashes before, but they are not like roam about kind of
Yeah,
cats.
you don't let them out in the
Yeah.
whole thing, yeah.
Yeah, no.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the portion of our show known as the discussion about pussy shave downs.
Oh yeah. Okay. So
So
yeah,
there
there
you
we
go.
go. My cats will be
Leave it to
groomed tomorrow.
Rob to bring it back down to the level of the 14-year-olds. So
I
that's what.
need to, get a good night's sleep because I have to drive them out there and then, wait and pick them up. And
How
yeah,
far
it's
is
like
it
a
to
whole
the?
fucking thing. It's not that far, but it's an event is basically
Yeah.
what I'm getting at. So I need sleep and anyways, that's that. That's the reason I felt like I needed to explain myself. I will take pictures of Bahamut, the boy, after he gets his lion cut because he's gonna be fucking adorable, obviously. And I'll take a video sometimes when one cat gets a very drastic shave and the other one doesn't. Sometimes they act sort of spooked of the cat who got a drastic shave. There's videos of this on YouTube. You can look it up. So I'm gonna see if the female cat, if she acts crazy to her brother because he's getting such a drastic shave. I'm gonna get it on video. She's gonna be all hissing at him like, "Who the fuck are you?" Stuff like that. It's gonna be hilarious. Okay. It's not animal cruelty, you guys. They get over it in like an hour. It'll be fine. All right, I'm done. That's all. I love my cats. Everybody fucking knows that.
I don't have
They're my
any pets.
babies.
I'm not allowed. Isn't that sad?
I'm sorry.
I know.
I'll
No
just
pets.
send you pictures of my pets and you can pretend like they're yours.
Nope. I can talk to them. I can put one in each room.
Yeah,
No
that's right.
pets. No girlfriend. No nothing, everybody. All I have is my computer and the election results. That's all I have in
But
my
on the bright
life.
side, you don't have to like put anybody else's needs before your own. You can do whatever the fuck you want. There's
Well, that's
there's
what they
upside.
said. Rob, why don't you have children? And I said, oh, the reason I don't have children is because I like doing whatever the fuck I want, whenever the fuck I want.
Belle says you have your hand.
And then, yeah, yes, I do. I have two actually.
Oh my god,
I don't know if you guys are aware, but there's two, and one of them has a watch.
Oh my god, fucking Apple Watch. Boo.
Oh no! Oh, this thing!
Oh
Oh
my
my god! This
god.
thing. Aside from my phone, this is so. First of all, I hate Apple. Apple can go fuck themselves. I'm glad Steve
No,
Jobs is
that's
dead.
my line.
No.
You're so
But
full of shit.
no. But I hate Apple. Because I told you, Steve Jobs basically told me to fuck off when I was 17.
Yeah,
So
I hate Apple.
I hate Apple.
Me too,
Says the guy
GWB.
who has an iPad Pro, an iPhone 12, and an Apple Watch Series 5. But guess what? I won't do Mac though.
Just so you do
Oh
have a
my
box
god,
of
Robin, it's empty. So now I have to go get. There's literally 30
Dude,
of
mine is
these.
like so full, like super full. Look at that.
Well, I have to go. So I have 30 of these stacked up in my bedroom, and it's in my bedroom because that's where the space is. Everybody.
Uh-huh. 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 Mine's here because I blow my nose like a normal human being.
Well, that's what these are for. Unlike what people might think, I'm not watching Pornhub at my computer. I do that on my phone.
Right.
Why is Alexa talking? Alexa, shut the fuck up. That's right. I guess, Robin, I lied. I do have somebody here with me.
You have Alexa.
She talks when she's not supposed to.
Right.
Yeah.
Our Google has been doing that sometimes. Like the kids will ask her a question, turn the lights on, right? Fucking simple, something she knows how to do. She's done a million times before.
Yeah.
And then she'll like answer and like tell them some random shit off of like Wikipedia about like something.
Right. It's because
totally
they hear what you
unrelated.
say differently. Like they hear a
Yeah.
different word. So so
Right.
get this. This reminds me of this story. So I'm not looking anymore because I've decided I'm just going to build a second home on my property. But I was looking,
Right.
as you know, I was looking at condos. And I went out to Deer Park to look at this sexy ass condo, which I kind of still want, but I'm not doing it. And the realtor was like, Cynthia Up. She was so I feel so
That's
bad
a cool
because she
name.
spent time with me, and then I'm not gonna buy
It
anything.
happens.
But
They're
yeah,
used
and
to it.
she was cool. She's like, that's the job, Rob. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But we were
Yeah.
in the house, and then she's like, so we were standing there, and I go, since it's listed at 325, what do you think would be like? You don't want to offer what they're asking. You want to go lower. So how much lower? And she goes, we can talk about that outside. And I go, okay. And I wasn't, I'm like, what? And
Right.
she's got her, like, she had her daughter and then a special needs, two kids were in the car, and I thought, oh, maybe she wants to get back out to them since we're done looking. And then we go outside, and she goes, oh yeah, she goes, I never talk about anything like that inside the house because Alexa and whatnot, you don't know,
Oh, yeah.
and they could be
That's true.
recording you. And I'm like, oh, I said, you know your
Yeah,
job.
nanny cams and like
Yeah,
all kinds of
exactly.
shit. You never
She said,
know.
she said that's happened. And she didn't have proof, but they went to make an offer, and somehow the buyer knew the exact amounts and whatever, and she was like, how the fuck would they
Oh
know
my
that? Yeah.
god. Yeah,
So
that's crazy.
yeah, so that was
But
kind
I
of
mean,
funny.
Rob, I was gonna say, it's totally normal to offer what they're asking if that's what you can afford, and if you think it's worth it, and if you want them to 100% accept your offer.
Yeah,
Just
no, I
offer what
know.
they're
Yeah. I was just I the reason I was even having that discussion is because
I get it. You don't have
they
to explain it to me.
no,
I
no, no, but
understand.
no, there is a specific reason though, because I would just do that. Like, I'm not a dicker, I'm not a
Yeah,
nickel and
yeah.
dimer. That's not my personality. But they had it for 325, and both Zillow and Redfin had the value at 301 and 302,
Oof.
and
Oh
he was
my
asking
god.
$20,000 more.
That's a big difference.
Yeah, and so I was like, maybe I say, maybe I say 300, and he goes, yeah, you're fucking crazy. What about 315? And we settle on 310, and then maybe we talk about closing costs. You pay that when we got a deal, because I was coming from a position of strength. I don't.
Right.
I'm in a house. I don't need to move. I don't need to buy another place. So if it's not the
Yeah.
if it's not the right deal, I'm not gonna do it. This place was amazing. The garage. I have to stop myself because I might have an orgasm. The garage
At
had
least you have tissue.
I have tissue here. I have two left. Um, it had throw rugs in it, and I'm almost positive a car was never parked in there.
Ooh,
And when I
nice.
walked in there, the only thought I had was game room. And I was like,
Right?
and I
Fuck
wanted to
yeah.
go, and so, and
Was
this
it
fucking
semi-finished? Like plastered
no,
walls?
no, it was built in
No? Oh.
'96. It was just fucking immaculate, and it was such a
Mm.
good deal because it's on a golf course, and the the um the HOAs are really low, 250 a month, and that includes everything outside the building. So all the maintenance and everything outside, and the yard work and everything, all included. Water,
Nice.
garbage, sewer, everything. It's less than what I
$2 for
paid.
our HOA would do the yard work. They
You say
don't.
what?
I wish our HOA would do our yard
Yeah.
work. They
So
don't.
then, but it's definitely a condo, not a house. And it was
Right,
it
right.
was attached to only one other unit. And it was a single story. Anyway, so here's the thing. So, Bell, you got to realize though that the HOA would have covered water, garbage, sewer, and lawn, and would have been what, 250, so $3,000 a year. Currently, for all that stuff, I pay over $4,000 a year, so it would have saved me
Yeah.
money. But anyway, this
There's not a
condo,
lot of things you can get nowadays that aren't part of a HOA either. They're so common.
yeah. But this
So common.
condo is located, so go to Canada and then come back a mile. That's where this fucking thing is, way up there. So it
Right?
would be like a 30-minute drive to anything. And I
Nice.
wasn't down with that too
That's
much.
not that bad though.
No, but
I go 30 minutes to go shopping. We go to Kenosha or we go to Gurnee. They're both like 30 minutes away.
yeah. But it
But
was
we have a Walmart here in town, so
it was 325, and I would have had to sell my house and move. And so now instead, I don't know why I just didn't do, I don't know why I even considered moving, because I'm just going to build a house in the back, live in that, and rent this one out. And I don't have to get a loan or anything. I can just do it.
yeah. And that's income
That's
one.
income, yeah.
You can hire somebody to manage it for you. So boom, you don't even
Right.
have to do that much work. It's fucking amazing. If
It's
I had the
amazing.
means to do that,
Because
That's what
I assume, I don't know when, and hopefully I'm wrong. I wish I'm wrong about this, but I assume that one day down the road, DM's Guild and all this things that I'm doing well is all gonna fucking just evaporate. I just
I'm
assume that.
sure when
And
6th edition comes out.
yeah, well, except for, oh, do you know the story about sixth edition? I happen to know something. This is not a
Oh, do
secret.
you?
This is public information, but not many people know it. So at WotC, and I didn't actually see this when I was there, but Chris Perkins said on a podcast, we get questions about sixth edition all the time. And so far, we have one 3x5 card pinned to the wall in the office that just says 6th edition must be reverse compatible with 5e. And that's the only thing they've stated about it. So if they do 6th edition, I'm
It'll be
assuming all the
5.5.
DM's Guild stuff will still apply, yeah.
Yeah, nobody will even call it 6th edition. The community at large will call it 5.5. That's exactly what happened when they redid 3rd edition.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And so I don't worry
Cool.
about that, but what I worry about is like you just don't know about what happens on planet Earth and especially America. Like look at the politics. But like so for example, I owned a video store. Well,
Right. Yeah.
that went away, you know. I'll bet you the owners of Circuit City, Radio Shack, Sears, Tower Records, and all these other companies that have fallen by the wayside, even 5 years before that happened, we're not thinking, oh, this is all going to go away. Like, no one thought that. And then shit happens. Yeah.
Yeah. So I always wondered that 3.5 and possibly 5.5. Why go to 0.5? Well, the 0.5 happened because they basically would just with 3.5 they just they not I don't want to use re-release, but they redid the player's handbook, the monster manual, and the dungeon master's guide. But they stuff was added or changed or removed, but it was still you could still use that with 3rd edition, even though this was like new. So it was backwards compatible, sort of. So the people just called that 3.5. And that's what I'm saying. If they came out and they were like, here is 6th edition, but it works with 5th edition, nobody's going to call it 6th edition. They'll just call it 5.5.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at.
And I don't see, even though about every between 6 and 12 years they do a new edition, I see 5th edition, just personally my opinion is that it will last the longest of all the editions. If they ever do go to 6, it's going to be another 5 or 10 years at least.
A decade from now. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I think it'll be around 2030. If
right,
even.
I agree.
I think if they're smart, and I like to hope that WotC is smart. If they're smart, they'll find ways to keep us playing 5th edition, but freshen it up every now and then.
Yeah, and I think they've been doing that. Like they committed to only putting out 2 or 3 books a year, not putting out like 4th edition, one a month or whatever the fuck they did in 4th edition. Yeah. And everybody got priced out of the game and it was kind of shit anyway.
Player Powers Book 5.
Right, yeah. Like Player's Handbook 3. Like what the fuck are you doing?
I know, we don't need that many. Well, but if you think about it, Rob, Xanathar's Guide to Everything is Player's Handbook number 2. Tasha's Cauldron of Everything will be Player's Handbook. Like, just because the name is different doesn't mean the function has changed.
Right.
Functionally, they're the same.
But they aren't putting them out so
I know. I get it.
Like 10 a year or whatever the fuck they were doing.
Yeah. It was crazy.
And
it was like
crazy.
Planar Powers, Psionic Powers, fucking Face of the Realms. It's just like one thing after another, and now there's too many.
And then they did D&D Essentials, which of course, like an idiot, I fucking bought, which are the little paperback, all the same info. I don't know fucking what happened. It was crazy. Yeah. But anyway, my point was that you don't know. Cool. You just cool nobody can tell what's going to happen with anything,
Right. Yeah.
So I don't live my life thinking, oh, I make this money on DM's Guild, I'm set for the rest of my life, I'm always going to have this. No, I don't think that. I think it's all going to fucking fall under me in 2 minutes.
If you made like $1 million, maybe. You could probably live off that for the rest of your life.
Right, like
Sure.
I have made enough money in the last 5 years to build a house in my backyard. Like that's what I've done. And by the way, when I
Right.
do that, I'll be down to zero. I will have nothing. I'll have 2 houses but no money.
I've not made
And
that much.
I'm going to meet the guy on Monday, and I have to drive to Idaho because their model home where I can go in and see the things and touch them and look at them and pick the ones I
In
want.
Idaho?
Well, they have it in Spokane, but the COVID is way more restricted here, and they're not allowed to show in Spokane.
Oh,
But in Idaho, they're a red state. They don't give a fuck.
right.
So,
Yeah.
and I mean, I'm just gonna wear a mask and be talking to one guy, so it's not gonna
Yeah.
be. It's not a
Yeah.
big deal.
You should be all right. Just
Yeah.
free hand sanitizer. Yeah. Stay covered. All that. Yeah.
I'm
Be
gonna
smart.
wear a full hazmat suit. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Wear a full hazmat suit, though. You know,
I don't
you are
have one.
immune compromised, my friend.
Yes, I am.
So,
But
just
as long
stay
as
careful.
this
Stay
guy
cautious.
Reed Wilmot will have his mask, then it'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
You'll be all
then,
right.
and they do it. The way they do it is 35%, 30%, 30%, 5%. If you're not getting a loan, you're just paying for it.
Mm.
And so, you don't have to give it all up front or whatever, because obviously you would never do that anyway, because they'd be like, okay, bye. Like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
And so it'll probably be a year. They say from the time you sign the contract to start, it's 8 to 9 months to completion. So we're probably talking about a year from now.
Well, that sounds miserable.
But I need a year to like get rid of shit and sell stuff.
Yeah. But I mean, you can do that after the house is built, because you can just
my one problem is I think my
pace.
detached garage, which I plan to demo after the fact, I don't think I can do that. I think I have to demo it now.
No, don't do that.
Well, they can't get in. They can't drive trucks back there or go in. They can't get
But
back
that's
there.
gonna lose a lot of the rentability of your front property if there's no garage.
Oh, well, that garage has to go because my property, if I have a garage and a driveway to go out to the street, there's nowhere to go. You have to go through the garage. So it has to go. And it's also not a good garage anyway.
Oh,
I mean, it was built in 1945 and not really maintained. Like the house has improvements on it. Yeah. The garage doesn't. It's just a piece of crap.
Yeah. Makes sense.
But my renter will definitely be someone who has to park outside. They won't have a garage, and they'll also have their own, because I have to be able to get out and drive by. It's a whole fucking nightmare. But
right.
I'm gonna make it.
We rented a house once that didn't have a garage, and we hated it. Like hated it. It was when we lived in Tennessee.
You can't discriminate, right? You can't discriminate as a landlord. You can't say no to anybody because of race, creed, class, all that, right? But what I'm hoping is that no one but some young single person will want to rent from me with no garage. So hopefully it'll be a younger person with no kids and who doesn't bother me and who maybe is short on the rent 1 month and might want to make a trade. I don't know.
Right.
We're gonna have to see.
Are you gonna put a fence to like separate the properties?
No.
It's just gonna be all open.
I'll just be the landlord out back looking over the shoulder. No. But I'm not like.
They're gonna wonder though, like, where does my yard end and your yard start?
Oh, well, that'll be made clear.
Oh, okay.
I'll do a yellow paint can.
No, don't do that.
Well, so yeah, so when I interview prospective renters, I'll just have to make, I'll make it easy for them. I'll say, here's all the idiosyncrasies with this property. I live right there. The driveway is a communal driveway, but you'll have your own parking space. It needs to be kept clear in case I need to go somewhere. I'll make it all very clear and easy for them to go, oh yeah. No, I don't think I can deal with that.
Right,
so
yeah.
Hopefully the person who ends up renting. Oh, the other thing is, I don't.
It's gonna be
the rent of my property that I rent out, it will not be a component of my survival. I don't need to rent it. I can just let it sit empty.
Yeah, and I get that.
Yeah, so that makes me come from a good position.
You're gonna get a very old lady who has like a Wednesday knitting club, and she's gonna tell Susan and Joanne that they can't block the driveway when they come over for Wednesday knitting club. That's what you're gonna get. I'm telling you. I'm predicting it now.
I'm down with it.
All right. I don't know why I said that, but it popped in my head.
I picture what I would get would be like a Gonzaga University student or somebody like that.
Yeah, maybe.
For like a year or two, and then they would leave. And
telling you, old lady, widower, knitting club on Wednesdays. Yep, that's
right?
where my bed is.
Depending on her age, I'm gonna maybe learn to knit. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, but she goes to bingo on Thursdays, so she's never home on Thursday nights.
Your landlord, will just be living right behind you, alone, in my brand new house, with nobody there except me.
Belle says she's gonna make you casserole with rent every time she goes to pay you the rent. She's gonna knock on the door and say, "Mr. Tui, this time it's corn casserole. Here's your rent money."
So that's an exciting prospect for me right there.
There you go.
Free and I'm gonna have rules at my house, which are, you don't come in with shoes. The end.
Yeah, I'm not a big. I'm not fond of shoes in the house. Only on like the entryway, but after that, I prefer people take them off.
Journeyman says they can pay a year's rent for 75% off in December when I do the Insanity bundle. That's funny. That's funny. That's a funny thing. All right, well, we better go off now because it's Robin's bedtime.
To end it early.
That's right. And update everybody. Election still not decided. Okay, thank you.
Still undecided. I think it'll be a few more days. That's what I'm thinking. Like 2 more days, and then we'll know.
Well, Nevada's only Nevada. If he takes Nevada, he'll win. But they're still only at 75%. What the fuck is taking them so long? Just count those shit.
What an interesting election.
It is interesting. I personally think Nevada's slowing down, or I don't think they're going as fast as they could because they're in the national spotlight and they're like, it's all us
drag this out. Yeah.
So that everybody talks about Nevada for the next 12 weeks.
Midnight fucking In-N-Out burger run, everybody.
They have In-N-Out in Nevada too. They do.
I know. I'm aware.
In-N-Out, look it up, everybody.
I did grow up in California. In-N-Out is the worst burger chain you could eat at.
It's not.
Well, the best burger chain you could eat at is called Five Guys. You're welcome.
Five Guys is fucking amazing. We had 3 of them here, but now there's only 2. I worry. But I think it was I think it was I don't think it was it's not popular and didn't make money. I think it was a lease situation. Like they just couldn't.
So quick story. That just happened to my brother. My brother works at a kennel, and I very briefly also worked at this dog kennel, everybody. And the owner of the dog kennel, the business, a few years ago, the building had a flood in it, like something flooded. I don't remember. And the leaser of the building said, "Hey, I'll cut you a good deal on your lease if you pay for the repairs." So the kennel owner paid for all the repairs on this building after the flood. Everything was fine and dandy. I guess now they're raising the lease or whatever. I don't understand everything. And the kennel owner can't afford it. So they're closing. My brother's losing his job. Yeah, it's fucking sad because it's a really good kennel. They do really good grooming. I used to get my cats groomed there. But yeah, it's really unfortunate. They're closing. All right, anyways, that's the end of my story. Fucking people raising rent prices and shit for who knows what reason.
Five Guys, if I'm not mistaken, Five Guys typically don't have drive-through windows.
They don't. It is a eat-in.
Yeah, so there are COVID issues.
So
but
good.
I
know.
Yeah, I see that they can deliver though. So if you're willing to pay the exorbitant fucking DoorDash or Uber Eats or any of these other,
and they've gone up, haven't they? Like DoorDash and everything. Yeah. They've gone expensive.
So here's what they do, these fucking people.
Money grubbing motherfuckers.
They give you like a $15 off your first time if you order $20 or more. So you're like, oh, fucking amazing. Right. So you do it.
I really want Five Guys.
And now they have you. Now they have your email and your name. Mm-hmm. And they email you incessantly. And you're like, fine. I'm hungry. and then you do it and you realize like you order like something that's $5 and they get to your house and it's $20. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, try imagine ordering for my family, a family of 5. If we go to the drive-through at McDonald's, we can get out of there $30. You know what I mean? Like getting some, one of my kids only likes chicken nuggets or whatever.
Right.
Great. $30 McDonald's done. If we DoorDash our McDonald's, for some fucking reason it's like $49, $50.
Yeah, and
we
also
get the same thing every time we go there. It's mind blowing.
Well, so they also don't do like you can only get certain items on it with inflated prices. You can't get if you go to the store. So like my McDonald's meal, when I go to McDonald's, it costs me $3.54 because I get the same thing every time. I get a large Diet Coke, which is $1, and I get 3.
Oh, it's so cheaper.
I get 3 McChicken patties, just the patty, not the sandwich. Those are 75 cents each, so that's $2.25. So that's $3.25 plus tax, $3.54. Same thing every time.
Now, everything is maybe it's because I live near Chicago. Everything's so expensive here.
Yeah.
Like, if you want a McChicken, they're like $1.69.
Right, but if you just get the patty, it's only 75 cents.
I don't know about all that. See, a large soda is like $1.50. Which is fine.
I thought McDonald's was nationwide dollar sodas. I didn't know that.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Everything's so expensive. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I always thought that the large soda was $1.50 and the medium is $1. But I might be thinking of some other restaurant also. So
well, normally a large soda costs like $2.50 or $2.89 or something. Right, but they always have dollar. They've had dollar sodas for like 5 years. But yeah. And then if I do get a wild hair up my ass, like I will get a number 1 Big Mac, fries, and a drink. It's like fucking $10. It's insane.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Exactly. But I like Big Macs. I also like when we go to Burger King, I'll get a Whopper sometimes. Yes. Yeah, and I like having fries and a drink, so sometimes the meal is great. My 8-year-old still likes Happy Meals or, the equivalent at whatever restaurant you're going to. So usually we get them. They're like $7 too, fucking Happy Meal, which is like way less food than the grown-up meals.
Yeah.
But they cost the same because there's a fucking toy. It doesn't make any sense. It's like a cheap toy made in China. It cost them like 3 cents to make it.
Oh, that's the other thing is you're supposed to eat healthy, right? So you go to McDonald's and you're like, I'm gonna eat healthy. So you can get a hamburger for like $1 or $1.50. Salad, $7.
Oh yeah. My 13-year-old loves salads. Like he's big on he likes, Caesar salads or whatever. So when we eat out, we'll get him salads. But yeah, they're more expensive, especially if we go to a place like Applebee's or something like that. Their salad is like the same price as fucking steak meals.
Right. It's insane.
What?
We're all supposed to be healthy.
You get a T-bone steak, $11.99. Caesar salad, $11.99. What the fuck? You're kidding me.
It's crazy.
Remember when like Olive Garden had house salads for $2? That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways.
I know. Olive Garden's my favorite restaurant, of course.
I love Olive Garden.
Soup, salad, and breadsticks, all you can eat, used to be like $5.99. Now it's like $8.99.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And when I was a kid, because my parents were really poor, the McDonald's down the road from us, they used to do on Wednesdays, you could get cheeseburger or plain hamburgers at McDonald's for 29 cents per hamburger. And then on Saturdays, the cheeseburgers were 49 cents. So my dad would walk down there because it was like right down the road from our house. And he would bring like a backpack with him and order like 40 fucking burgers. They were so cheap, and he would backpack them home and we would have them for like 3 days, like just microwave them the next day and have more burgers. Yeah. We were fucking poor, but okay.
I know. I remember so clearly in the 90s when I lived in Phoenix, both Taco Bell and Burger King had their main, like hamburger or taco, 39 cents.
Mm-hmm.
And now those things are 4 times that. And I granted, it's been 20 years, but it doesn't seem. Robin's like, what about Five Guys?
But what about Five Guys? I'm cool with either. Olive Garden and Five Guys are pretty on par for me. I fucking love them.
I don't know Zuppa Toscana, Bill. I don't know that.
I've never heard of it.
But yeah, now I want to go get Five Guys, and I don't even know if I can.
Or Olive Garden. Oh my god, their breadsticks are so fucking good.
Breadsticks
Oh,
used to be better 20 years ago. They changed them.
yeah.
They did the same thing McDonald's did. They went a healthier way or cheaper
And now they're
way, and they're
worse.
just
Yeah.
100% less good, yet
No, they're
still
so good. They're
good.
so good.
Well,
Yeah.
100% less good, but still good.
My favorite bread item at any, chain place. If you've never had it, you should try it. But and that's even if you have this chain where you live, but you should go to a place called Texas Roadhouse and have their regular dinner rolls, but ask them for their cinnamon butter. And you put the cinnamon butter in their dinner rolls. It will fucking blow your mind. It is so fucking good. So good. Texas Roadhouse. Yeah. All right,
Yeah,
you're welcome.
I think I've eaten at a Texas Roadhouse once. We don't have them here.
Amazing.
But I'm a world traveler, Robin, so as you know, I've had them. Now is that the place with the sawdust on the floor?
Well, it's not sawdust, it's peanuts. Like if you go into a Texas Roadhouse, every table will have a
Same thing as
pail
Five Guys. Okay.
with peanuts. Yeah. And people will eat the peanuts and you're
And
literally expected to just put the shells on the floor. Yeah. I
Right.
don't know. It's like
Same as Five
fucking
Guys.
Wild
So
West thing.
the other
Yeah, I don't get it.
so there is another
So
steakhouse
unsanitary.
where they so
Maybe not during COVID. Maybe they're probably not encouraging
Got it.
people to
I think
eat
it's
the
maybe
peanuts.
called Lone Star Steakhouse. They do sawdust on the floor.
Oh yeah, I've never
Yeah.
been there.
Peanut
No, I'm
shells.
thinking
All right.
Texas Roadhouse is like a big fucking franchise, but
Right.
they're not everywhere like McDonald's, obviously.
All right, now that we've made everybody hungry, let's go eat, everybody.
I know, right? It's food time now, baby.
Go eat and watch these senseless election results.
Hanging out with us. I
Yeah.
hope that if anybody has been, voodoo mind tricked into going to get food, I hope you all enjoy whatever food you go get. Somebody's like,
Yes.
I'm going to Texas Roadhouse right now.
I've voodoo mind tricked myself. Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Right.
All right, so thanks everybody. See,
hope you
today's
guys all have a great
Wednesday,
night.
so come back on Friday for Mad Mage. You know,
Dungeon
Mad
of Mad
Mage,
Mage.
we've been playing for almost 2 years, and we have decided that it's probably gonna end around Christmas.
Oh shit! Like, have you guys made it to the bottom?
No, we're only on like 17.
Fucking don't give up now.
No, but I'm saying Joe, the DM has calculated that in about 8 to 10 more sessions we're gonna be done.
You guys are actually going to finish it though. You're not like,
fuck yeah, we
I'm done with this.
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna play for 20 months and then abandon it. No, we're gonna finish it.
That's what I was hoping.
But then I might have to. Rob Tui, might have to run a campaign next year. What?
Oh shit.
Oh shit! On Friday nights, Robin, you can play.
Oh, I can't because I play in Drake's game every other Friday.
Fuck Drake.
But Drake's awesome.
He is
I
awesome.
like Drake.
I like Drake too. He does the Saturday game.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll figure it out. Do your game every other Friday and have it be the Friday in between my game with Drake.
I can maybe do that. Oh, actually, I might like that because then that gives me 2 Fridays a month off. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. My current Saturday game, we play 3 weeks and then we have a week off because otherwise, how the fuck am I gonna prep shit? It's like almost totally homebrew game. So
you're so
I need
cute. Prep.
No, right, I mean I don't really run a lot of. Okay. Anyways, yeah, we gotta go. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, we gotta go. Good gaming, everyone.